see. Let me see here, guys. My YouTube page. So you've Christopher Terry. What about Christopher Terry? You've done that with him? Hold on. My YouTube page. Uh-oh, that's me. Hold on. I'm not supposed to. What about Christopher Terry? You've done that with him? Hang on. Gotta go. Oh, got you. Uh-oh, that's me. Hold on. I'm not supposed to. Okay, so I muted the sound on there, and I still think everybody can hear me. Okay, I guess we are good. The Zoom is there. Let's see, I'm not sure. Let's see. Let me ask everybody. I need to know if my people on YouTube can hear and see me. Okay, I have 2 people watching on YouTube, but I need to make sure everybody can see me on there. My Zoom is up. Oh, there's nothing to show. Why is there a problem with me starting the video? Okay, there we go. Everybody can see me. Okay, so I have somebody that just watched his video on IML. Okay, great. That you can follow me. YouTube. Hold on just a moment. /Rachel. I don't know my name. Okay, why does this video keep going off? What did I do? Hang on, guys. Something keeps happening to my video. And I know it should be okay because now I don't want this to start acting up. Okay. Oh, Brenda, you were raising your hand for that? Okay. So y'all let me know. I'm going to keep seeing this and hopefully the video will remain, but I want to share my screen with you. Okay. I'm going to go here because I'm in a trade. We're going to do gap trading. Right now, we're going to talk about it. Y'all can see my screen. I'm in the negative right now, but that's cool. Now, see, it keeps going in and out, so y'all can't see. Can you see my video? I mean, not my video. Can you see my screen? That's the most important thing. I need you to please put in the chat if you can see my screen. We're good there. Then, okay, yes. Okay, so you can see my chart. Great. Excellent, excellent. Excellent. Okay, and then, okay. Oh, you in AUD USD? Okay, cool. Let me check with my YouTube people to see if they can see it. Yes, they can see it as well. Hi, Keisha, Cassandra. How are you? I'm glad you could see me, and that was my concern if you could see and hear me. So we are for my YouTube. Yeah, we're scalping the gap. Let's talk about scalping the gap and what that means, gap trading. So, you know, many of you, I'm sure you've seen gap trading before. Okay, but that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Very good. Okay, so let me show you first, and it's not going to be long, but I want to show you what a gap is. Okay, what is a gap in the market? Because every Sunday when the market opens, there are several currency pairs that will gap. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Let me show you. GBP USD is not in the gap right now. I mean, we are looking at the 1 hour time frame. We've been on for about 3 hours, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 o'clock. So 3 hours, 1, 2, 3. Here was Friday's candle right here. If you can see it, this was Friday's candle. the close of Friday's candle. So it really wasn't a gap there. So I just entered this trade because of my trade set up earlier. Okay, what I was able to see. Okay, we're supposed to still be, this go up. This is a high right here. I'm looking for the market to come back on this. See, it stopped out right here, went back down. I'm gonna show you where that's where it was. Okay, we went there, but I'm looking for the market to come up. Let me bring this down. Okay, I'm looking for it to come back up here, at least around here. All right, because we got a high right about, let me bring this down. We got a high right in here. Okay, so I'm gonna look for the market to come back right in this area because it's already touched this one. Okay, so I'm looking for the market to come around and go this direction. All right, so that's just kind of where we started. You can raise your lot size for the gap. It's going to be up to you as to what you're doing. If you're scalping, yes, you can, depending on your account, if you can hold it. But let me talk a little bit about gap trading. What will happen a lot of times in gaps, they will close. They don't always close. The gap is supposed to close, but it may take months for a gap, depending on how big the gap is and what's going on in the market. It could take months for the gaps to trade. So you don't want to just believe that, oh, the market gapped on Sunday, boom, I'm gonna get in the market and it's gonna go my direction. No, learn, listen, people, listen. Learn from me. I made a mistake in listening to people saying to me, oh, gap trading on Sundays. So I'm go get into the trade thinking that it gapped and it's gonna turn around. So I'm just waiting because it's gotta close. It doesn't have to close right then. It can. So what I want to talk to you today about is scalping the gap. Let's move down to a lower time frame, and mainly the 5-minute time frame. Let's look at that. We're going to go with the 5-minute and the 15-minute time frame. Let me see if I can open this up a little bit more. Okay. So right now, you see where we are? This is where we are right here. Okay. So let me go and show you some really neat pairs that gapped. Okay, because here's a gap right here, guys. Here's a big gap. Y'all see that gap? This is a gap, and I believe this was on the 5-minute chart. This is a gap. So if you were scalping, this is what you want to be looking at, okay? The 1-hour chart, it didn't really gap, but the 5-minute chart, a major gap. And that's what I want to show you. Let me see if I can find my, I need my, I know there is a circle. Where is my tool? Where are my tools? You have to forgive me because I don't have everything on my chart today. Why don't I have everything on here? Okay, hang on. I'm going to show you. I have an arrow, but that's not what I need. Okay, y'all gotta tell me where were my tools? Where are my tools? Where is it? Where is it? That's not what I need. Okay, so it's not gonna let me. Insert. There we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you right here. Be still. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so this is the candles. This is the candle. Can y'all see the red candle that I'm looking at right here? Okay. This red candle right here serves as a gap. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to close. I want to show you the difference between here and here. Can everybody see the gap? There's a gap. Closed up here on Friday. So normally what would happen is the market needs to come back up here in and around this area. And let me give you Let's see here if I can give you a shape of some. Okay, so anywhere we're looking for the market to come up in this area to close this gap. So above here and somewhere right in it doesn't have to come all the way back up here, but chances are when the market closed the gap, that's what happens. Let's see if it gapped on last Sunday and see what took place. Did anybody do any gap trading last Sunday? Let's go to last Sunday was what date? Today is the Friday was the 13th, 14th to 15th, from 7 to the 8th. All right, so we were at the 8th. Let's go look here at the 8th. Oh man. Well, one of the things I still have to do it. It doesn't matter how far. Okay, so I'm looking for the 8th so we can look and see if the market gapped last Sunday. Okay, so it'd be good to see. We're still on the 11th. We're almost there. All right, we're getting there. 9, and we're almost there. 8, 6. There we are. Wait. Where is it? Right about here. Look at that, guys. This is where. Let's see if this is where the 9th. Well, yeah. Last Friday. This was last Friday, not Friday that just passed, but Friday the 6th. The 6th, 7, 6. Okay, so we're looking at the 8th. I want you to see this. See how far down this is? Everybody's with me? This is where the market opened up on Sunday. See that? 7-9. This is where the market opened. Now, what I want you to do is let's see if the market closed that gap either on Sunday or during the week. Did the gap close? I'm going to show you what happens. Let's come here. Okay, we're going to do this like so. Let's do that. Right? And let's see if that, because what we need to do is see if this gets closed. This is where it opened. And let me do a horizontal line. That'll make it better. We need to see if the market came here. See this white line? It has to come back here. Did it come down? It stayed up here, boom, right here. Look at that. Can everybody see this? This is where the market closed the gap. The market closed the gap. Started closing on this one, finished on this one. It closed the gap because this is the white line where the market left off on that Friday. Can everybody see that? And so what you do, look at how long it took. This is on a 5-minute time frame, okay? And so it took how much time? We started at 0, 30 minutes, 50 minutes. That's an hour and 35 minutes for it to close. It took 1 hour and 35 minutes to close the gap. So what people who trade the gaps would have done, they could have looked, and what I like to do is, and I'm going to show you this. This is just one of the strategies. It doesn't work with all currency pairs, but I want to show you. Look at where the market is on my indicators, okay? So we know that it opened here. This was Friday when it was, we were up here. No, this is Sunday. This is Friday back over here. We were down here because you see how the sellers were in charge. Buyers dropped down, but boom, look what happened. This is the gap on Sunday. This is the gap right here where it shows that really the buyers were in charge, but then what happened? Look what happened. See how it started dropping? Pull back up a little bit there, drop below. We got the cross here with the negative DI. Positive DI stayed up, but then the positive DI dropped. The negative DI became dominant above the 20, dropped a little bit, pulled back here, but look at what it did. And so you kind of watch the RSI, you kind of watch your ADX, gives you an indication of whether it's going to close that gap. So one of the things we could have done is right here, got in here, and I have a moving average on here. I have a 10 moving average. See how I crossed it? I could have entered right here. It closed below it. The next candle was lower. If I'd have got in, we'd have had a little pullback, but not much. And then that major drop. We had a little pullback, but not a lot. Okay, so the goal for gap trading is to trade where it's going to open or close, where it open and where it's going to close. Okay, any questions so far? Do I have any people who are lost? Say one. One if you're lost. Two if I can keep going. Jennifer, you have a question. Go ahead and ask your question there. Okay, Eleanor's lost. Okay, so Jennifer said before the close, it went into consolidation. Yeah, but you got to look at it just a small bit, because remember, this is a 5-minute time frame we're looking at. Okay, we're looking at a 5-minute time frame. So a little bit of consolidation, but not much, because we are on the what? The 5-minute time frame. I like scalping on the 5-minute time frame with gaps because it's going to move, you know, and I'm not going to be in it long now. You don't really want to be in that. Sometimes gaps, like with gold and some other pairs, they'll go quick, and some of them they don't. Some of them don't go fast. Some of them do. Today I'm using GBP USD. You said, I said 120 minutes. Oh, yeah, it went from zero, you know, for an hour. It took an hour and 35 minutes for it to close, because down here that says 79 and we're at 135. So the market opened at zero, you know, like midnight, so to speak. Then it comes up here at 135. This is 135. 135 from zero just lets me know that it took an hour and 35 minutes. Now, it depends. On the 5-minute time frame, I've been in the trade since, where's my time? I got in at 151. And it's now, I got to go look at that clock. But I got in at 151 on one of them, at 2 on the other 4. Hold on. Let me see. And I got to see if I have any questions. Y'all bear with me, because I'm doing my YouTube channel also, and I need to see if people have questions. YouTube, I have questions. Let's see here. Okay, thank you. Good. Keisha says, so if there is a gap and it hasn't closed, is it safe to get in? Well, you have to make sure you know which direction it's going. So if it gaps up, gapped up here, we got to wait till it comes down. Okay. If the market gapped up, we got to wait till it comes down and close that gap. So what does that mean? I've got to get in. It just depends. You may not want to get in right away. You want to look at your indicators to give you an idea of, this is an intraday trade or scalping. I'm actually scalping. When I say scalping, I'm looking, because you don't have to get in right away. You look at your setup, you get in when the market is close to it. Now, you could just get in and get a few pips and get right out. That's why I say I'm scalping it. You know, get into this trade. Well, what happened was I stayed in. Even though I'm in the negative, I stayed in there because I believe the market is going to go in that direction. I believe it's going to close the gap on the other end where we are. I believe it's going to close the gap. And so I got in because I want to get a little bit more pips. But one of the things you can certainly do is get in, put a trailing stop on it. You know, learn to use your trailing stop on your computer. Learn to use a trailing stop on your computer. Get in, set a trailing stop for maybe 3 pips or so. And certainly when you know the market is going in that direction. So I'm looking at, let's go back to where we are today. Here we are today. See, and I got in right about in here. Okay. Yeah. Or did I get in right there? I think I got in. No, let's see what time this is. Yeah, I got in back here. Went up here and touched this and came back. But I'm looking for it to close this gap. Now, it may close the gap later tonight when the Asian market opens. Right now, I think we're getting ready. Asian market just opened. So it very well can close the gap during the Asian market or as it gets closer to the London session opening. So it just depends on you. Some people will stay in it longer. Some people won't, because you may just, and it depends on how big the gap is. Okay, let's say if it gapped right in this area, and we know it's got to go back up there. Some people will just jump in, take those pips, and get out. Okay, so we got a pretty good piece to go. This is where we were. It was down here because it actually pulled back. If you'll notice, look what happened up here. This is where it went when it opened. We got, so somebody got in. It was in consolidation right here. That's not enough to close. It didn't quite close the gap. It's got to come up. It had a little bit more to go. So some people would say, well, you know, coach, it got close to the gap. Well, it didn't really close it. And this is one area, went in here and it pulled back. So what I did was I got in based on my indicators at the time. If you'll notice, see where I was? I got in down here, went up, then it pulled back. And that's okay. It's going to depend on what you want in terms of the number of pips. Now, I shared yesterday when I was in Florida that you've got to trade with a plan. Even with gap trading, you want to plan. You want to decide which currency pairs are gapping, okay, which of them gap, and which of them close their gaps, you know, fairly quickly. So those are some things that you want to look at, okay? Usually anything AUD, NZD, during this time, they're going to go pretty quick because you're in that market. You're in that market. So if you want to look at, let's say, for example, I'm going to look at AUD. Let's see here. Hold on. See what we got going here. Here's a Euro NZD or AUD. Let's see if AUD JPY gapped today. Did it gap? Yeah, it gapped, but it closed that gap. Can y'all see that? Here was a gap here. It already closed the gap. And usually those are really good pairs. I would say, see, we're trying, ours is coming back down. So I'm hoping that it's getting ready to go ahead and close the gap there. But look, I want y'all to see this. See this gap? This was Friday, this was Sunday. Went up, tried to close it, didn't close it until it got by right here, and then boom, here it is, the high. Come down. That's a good trade if people were in it. That was a very good gap trade right there. So we know that AUD, JPY, NZD, those pairs during this time, if they gap on a Sunday, those are good to close. Now, I'm not saying all the time, but those are good to close fairly quickly during this market, during this session. Okay? But gap trading, I will just say this, people study gaps and they make quite a bit of money. Some people only trade gaps. They only trade on Sundays doing gap trading, okay? There's some people only trade gap trading. What they're actually doing is looking for gaps in the market and seeing what does the indicator say. Let's go here, and I want you to look at the indicators and see what it said. Well, we opened here, and I have a couple of things on my charts that you may not have. But if you'll notice, look at where it opened. Negative DI was down here. Okay. It started to come down. It did come down. Touched, but it didn't cross here. Then what did we start doing? Going back up. Okay. Anything above the 20, it's above the 20, it's above the 20. Boom, I'm getting in right here. I'm going to get in this and I'd ride it all the way to about right here. And that's where it started coming down. When we saw the cross of the negative DI, we could get out right in here. Whatever profits you have, take them. Okay, that's where that was. And let's see if you had gotten in right about here when the market opened. and you stayed in, how many pips would that have been? About 21 pips, something like that. About 21 pips, ladies and gentlemen. Nice little change, right? Nice little change on that gap. Any questions so far? I know some of you may be a little this may be a challenge, but gap trading is a good setup. It's a good setup for making profits on Sundays. You just got to choose your currency pair and you can scalp it. You know, right here, this was a great scalp. Let me show you what I mean. This was good. If you had, because the market opened down here. Let's say you got in right about here. It's way up there. Yeah, people would have gotten in, got right here, made a good, that's over 10 pips. That's 11 pips right there. 11 pips, guys. But you know, that's nice money. All you need is 10. Isn't that what Dr. Spiller says? All you need is 10. You need 10 pips. So what are we doing with gap trading? Gap trading is just looking for gaps in the market. On Sundays, you really want to look at the Asian session and the Australian session for currency pairs to gap. They're pretty much will close quickly. Let's look at AUD NZD. Let's see if it gapped today. Oh, wow. Is that Sundays? Yeah, look at that. Nice little move there. That wasn't a major gap today. Yeah, it was. This was Friday's candle. This Friday's candle? No, this was Friday's candle. My bad. Is that it? Or is this it? Okay, sorry. This is Friday's candle. Yeah, we're AUD NZD. Somebody else, Darren, did you trade NZD USD today on the gap? See right here, this got here. It closed here on Friday. We needed it to come back down and then go up. So it did. Look, close the gap real quick. AUD NZD. All right, let's look at that was yeah, that's AUD NZD. Let's look at NZD USD. Let's look at the gap. If it gapped, we don't know if it gapped. I need to see. I didn't pay attention. All right. Let me go back here. And here's the gap. Again, we gapped from, this was Friday, gap down here, it opened down here, boom, come up, make these, gap this here, scalp for these pips, came across, came down, but look, closed it right here. So yes, it closed that gap. Oh, my connection just dropped. I hate that. Come on, JFX. It's not my internet because we're still up. It's the servers on their side. See this here indicator down here that tells me no connection. Let's rescan the servers. Come on. All right. Any questions what we're doing right now? Trading the gap. Any questions? So there was a gap on NZD USD. Gap trading is a very, very lucrative concept if you can get it down. I would suggest those of you who are on here today, I would suggest that all you need to do is watch the currency pairs. You know which market opens on Sundays. Go and look at the currency pairs to see where they are. Look at your indicators. On my GB, no, I don't have a TP on that right now. I don't have a TP on that because I put a trailing stop, a 3-pip trailing stop on it. Okay, yeah, I put a 3-pip trailing stop on it. I needed to get back up to 300, and there we go. Okay, so it just started back up. This is where I am right now. Not a problem. This is the area it needs to go back up and close. Well, it didn't. It hit right here. I'm looking for the market to come back up here. Okay. Now, if it doesn't, it doesn't. That's how it is. That's how it is, guys. And I'll know when to get out. If the trend turns around and starts going down, you know, hey, I'm gonna get out of that. But remember, I'm trading on the 5-minute time frame. I'm watching it. Basically, it's been in consolidation for the last 5, 10, 15, right in the same area. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 minutes. We've been right here in the same area for about 45 minutes. So what we need is for the market to break in this area. Okay, can y'all see that? I need for the market to break here. I need for the market to break this little area right here. If you'll notice, this is where it wicks. That right along that area, that's a strong resistance area there. So that tells me if I can't get it to break through this time, I may need to go ahead and get out of this trade, because if this is a strong level of resistance, it's going to be hard for it to break through. And unless there is some push, like, you know, early morning trading, you know, if you had some news to push it through, yeah, then we'll stay. So if we can't get it to break through, you know, this line, then we might need to get out of it. However, we're still watching it. We're looking at it. I did want to share that with you about gapping. So what you're going to do is you're going to look for currency pairs that gap. Yes, Brenda, this is being recorded on YouTube. So you'd have to go to my YouTube channel if you want to watch it again. So the first thing that I do, let me tell you, first thing that I do is setting up my charts for gap trading. I use RSI, and I also use the 8 moving average and my ADX. My ADX and my RSI, they're all on default. They're all on default. Okay. Again, I have a 10 moving average, my ADX, and my RSI. Why do I use a 10? Well, see, right now I can see that this is in consolidation here. When it breaks above the 10, I need it to close above the 10 like it did here. And then my next candle would go up. If my next candle is a higher high, better chances of this breaking this area coming back up here. Okay. That's basically where I want my take profit to go. That's 327. No, 350 is what I'd wanted. So for 3 pips from 300 would be 330. Okay. Any questions? You're welcome. You're welcome. Any questions, guys? I want to hear from you. If you have a question regarding what I've said, we can talk about it real quick, but I did want to show you the first thing you're going to do is go to these currency pairs. You're going to be looking at, let me put a label here. On Sundays, these are some currency pairs you're going to look at. AUD, NZD, JPY. Look at those pairs on Sundays. Okay, look at those pairs. I'm in GBP USD, but really look at AUD, NZD, JPY. Look at those currency pairs for gaps. Okay, look at those. Yeah, my 8 moving average is an exponential. Yes, Brenda, this particular gap trading is going to work good on Sundays with the Asian market and the Australian market. Okay. Asian and Australian market on Sundays when the market first opened. Give the market about 15 minutes or so to settle down. Don't just jump into a trade because it gapped. Give the market a time to settle down so that you can look to see which direction it's going. And it's very important. You don't want to get in too soon. Let the market settle back a little bit and then get in. Okay, so we're looking at this breaking. If it breaks this area, guys, that's what there you go. Come on. It's breaking this out. Put a 3 pip take profit. I need to get up above 330 at least for my trailing stop to kick in. But if once you get in, we're making 15 cents right now. Once you get into the market, it goes in your direction. Feel free to take your profit at will. That's what I like to say to people who are trading. You don't have to wait. Yeah, that's the same area. But come on, buyers, get in there. Let's pull it up. But anyway, yeah, you don't have to take your profit when I say profit. Say take it. You can take your profit at will. I like saying that to people so that what you're comfortable with, go ahead and take it. Okay. All right. Do you use an 8 or a 10? My moving average is a 10. Did somebody ask me? 8? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, the moving average is a 10. Yes, James, the ADX was kicking in. We were looking at that. It's doing a little bit of pullback, on here. That's cool. We've kind of stayed right in here for the last few minutes. That's kind of where we are. So as soon as my ADX, my white line here, as soon as my ADX pulls up a little bit, we'll see a little bit more activity. When the ADX is high, which is the white line, when it's a little bit high, approaching 40 or midway between 20 and 40, that lets us know what? That we have a lot of activity going on, and chances are, we're talking about volatility. That's what's happening. That's how the market can move. Otherwise, it's going to go slow. Okay, it'll go slow. But we're looking for some good things to happen. It was able to break above that. That's where it's kind of gone. I want you to see that this is where it's kind of gone for the last few minutes. I mean, put a horizontal line. Right in this area is where it has wicked. So now what do we need? We need for it to break this area. We still have about 3 minutes on this candle. So we need it to go. It went up above it a little bit, but it pulled back. So what we need is what? We need for it to break this area in the next 3 minutes. Because I really want it, if this candle can turn around, pull back, then that's going to let us know, because we really needed a higher high. Once it closed above the 10, we needed a higher high for this to keep going to close this gap. So we're looking at this candle to pull back in the next 3 minutes. If it pulls up, turns green, that's what we want it to do, is to turn green. And then we want it to close above that. That gives us a good indication that the next candle is going to be a green candle. Okay. If it closes below, then chances are it's going to continue to drop. It'll continue to drop. Look at your RSI at the 55. It just dipped a little bit below the 55, but it's, pulling back and forth. Is that a preference? Because Terry said, wait 30 minutes before you get in. Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's going to be up to the individual. You can do 15 to 30. Let me show you. Go back and back test it yourself. Okay. If you back test it yourself, what you can see is, when did the market start closing the gap? And now what I want you to do is choose the pattern that you're going to be working with. Okay. Once you choose the pattern you're working with, do a back test on that currency pair and go back and look and see how long did it take the gap to close? Were there conditions going on at the time? Always check your news, do your fundamental analysis, see if any news comes out when the market opens. If it doesn't, then guess what? Chances are it'll do the same thing. So I say about 15 minutes for it to settle. You can do, some people wait an hour. And it depends on the currency pair that they're looking at, because some people may wait. They may, like gold, they may not jump right in with gold. Just depends on the conditions that are going on at that time. All right. Any other questions? No, Cassandra. Now this is on my YouTube page. We're not necessarily looking for a buy. for gap trading, because you can buy or sell. It's either one, buying or selling. It just depends on which way the market gaps. If it closed on Friday with a red candle, okay, and the market opens way above it, it gapped down. So that means the market has to come down to meet the close of Friday. If it opens at the bottom, if it closes at the bottom on Friday and it opens at the top on Sunday, gapped up. So that means it's got to go up to meet that. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. If it closed at the top on Friday, open at the bottom on Sunday, the bottom has to go up and catch up with it. Okay. What is the best time to go on the market to start trading? Now, Eleanor, that depends on the kind of trading you're doing. Are you talking about Sunday when the market opens, or during the week, or what? Okay, guys, we're in profit. We're in profit. I don't know if any of y'all took that trade, but I put gap trading on a Sunday. The market opens at 4. You want to start looking at your currency pairs to see which one's gapped. Then you want to look at your indicators to see exactly what went on. What went on? Okay, I'm at almost, not quite 3. We needed to break there because that's where it wicked last time. If it breaks above this white line right now, that's where it wicked last time. I may just take my $3 and get going. Let's see what the RSI is saying. We're still good. We're still good. I have this is all pointing up. This is pointing down. I have a 3-pip trailing stop on there. Very good, James. You got 5 pips. So you got in before I got in on that. Very good. So, if we got in down here, that was good. That was a good move up. Well, it just depends. Oh, see, we broke it. We broke it, guys. We broke it. So this is where it's going to stop me out at right here on 3 pips. I needed to go up, but I think I might take my little change. I need the stop loss to go up some more, because it's going to close me out at 0. It would close me out at 0, but I'm looking good. So I'm going to take my profit here, guys. I closed out. Now, it may go some more, but I closed out because it's closing. It's not closed. It's not guaranteed that it's going to go all the way up there. I noticed that, let's see where this is probably going to go. It may pull back a little bit, but I took my profit there. You see how I pulled back a little bit here below that, because that's kind of what it did before. But this is a gap. Now, once you see where it's closing the gap, go ahead and take your profit, and then you wait. You wait to, the next morning or what have you. This could continue to go further up. Once the gap closes, it can go this way. But, on Sundays, the key for scalping the gap, is to get a few pips and you're done. Get a few pips, get out of it, and you're done. Okay? Yeah. You want to scalp it, but get out. Yeah, I only had a mini lot and a micro lot. I did a 50 cent and $1, on that. But I'm telling you, a lot of people do gap trading and do very good on Sundays. Now, do I have any other questions? I want to see if anybody has any questions about gap trading. We can certainly take those questions right now. Okay, let's see here. Very good, Keisha. She got her $3. Good job. Anybody else make any money on that? You got $5 on that, James? Is that what that means? That's in euros. Before I get off, can y'all tell me where you're listening from? You tuned in from where? Tiffany, what time do we trade on Sundays? Gap trade. Well, when the market opens at 4. When the market opens at 4, you want to get in and start watching. Eleanor's from Florida. Can I get some other people? Let me know where you're listening in at. Where are you listening from? Please let me know. Everybody, I need y'all to put that in, even on YouTube. YouTube people, I've got a couple of people watching. Let me know. I got somebody in Houston. All right. UK, Texas, good. Can you repeat what to do if the market does close with a red candle? Yes, I'll do that. I got Atlanta, Georgia, California, New Jersey, Mississippi, Oklahoma. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. I got Dallas. Cassandra, where are you listening from? Florida, Gainesville, Florida. Way to go. We got several people on here today. Glad y'all could join me. All right. I got the UK in the house. Okay, so the market opens on Sunday. Let's run back through this real quick. The market opens on Sunday at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. All right, Central Standard Time. So when the market opens for me, what I do is go and look for the currency pairs, the gapped. I'm looking for the AUD, the NZD, the JPYs. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at those pairs that have those currencies in them, okay? Looking to see if any of them gapped. Usually AUD or the NZDs are the ones that's going to close pretty, and JPYs will close fairly quickly, okay? But we didn't stay in it that long with GBP USD. It basically gave us a few pips. That was good. That's what you're going to do when you scalp it. You're not trying to stay in it very long. I want you to know when I say very long, you're not talking about 4 or 5 hours. You don't want to do that unless you're trading gold and you have enough money in your account. But once the market opens, you're going to go look for those currency pairs that are gapped. All right. Once you find currency pair that is gapped, you want to pay attention to your indicators to see where the market is suggesting that it's going. You're very welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for being on. Thank you for being on. So you want to find out where the market is going. Once you find out where the market is going, first of all, at 4 o'clock, you're going to wait because you're not going to get in right then. You're going to let the market settle down. Someone said, Christopher Terry said 30 minutes. I said anywhere from 15 minutes on. Some people may wait longer than that because what they'll do is wait to see what the market is going to do. If you're scalping on the 5-minute time frame, yes, you're going to want to see what it's doing on the 5-minute time frame, okay? You want to watch those candles. If you go back and you look at that AUD NZD trade that I showed you, 15 minutes, it was a nice move, a good 11 pips on that. And sometimes that's what'll happen. Remember, this is scalping the gap, okay? We're scalping it. So you're not looking to get a whole lot of pips. You may get some on that Sunday night, and you may not. It just depends on the currency pair. So pay attention to the currency pair. It looks like my GBP USD is going up. It may close that gap all the way. But my point is, I made some money. That's what I wanted to do. That's what you should say. Hey, I'm getting in it to make some. I get out of it. Great. Not a problem. Another trade will come around. Okay. All right. So that's what we're doing for gap trading on Sundays, looking for the gap, checking out our indicators, making sure it's giving us a good direction, and we're getting in for a few pips and getting out. Are there any other questions? Anybody? All right. I didn't mean to take you all very long. I actually meant to be on here for about 30 to 45 minutes. And we've basically done that. It's almost an hour. But yeah, Tiffany, awesome. Good. Awesome, James. Okay. Oh, Jewel, did I talk about that red candle? I'm sorry. Going after pips. I like that. Okay. Let me tell that again. If the market closed, let's go here and look. Let me show this one more time. Here's the red candle. The market closed here on Friday. It was up here. This is the key about gap trading. The market closed in this area on Friday. It opened down below where it closed. It opened below where it closed. So it doesn't matter if this was a green candle or a red candle. It doesn't matter what color this is. The important thing is if it closed up here and it opened down here, the market has to come back up here and close this gap. Now, it may take a long time to close the gap, and it all depends on the currency pair. Because, see, right now, we can basically say this closed the gap. Now, if it continues in the trend to go up, that's what's going to happen. But closing the gap was what was important. Closing the gap, okay, everybody? So it closed the gap and pulled back. I just want you to see that. Hopefully, Brenda, I hope that answered the question for you. Let me put this right here. Very good. So see, yeah, it pretty much closed the gap. Now, remember what I said. If it closed above my 8, my 10, I'm looking for a higher high. All right. Presentations this week. We're certainly going to do some presentations, Tiffany. We're going to make that happen. See, it closed above it. I needed this candle to be the next higher high. It wasn't quite, but this one did. We were already in it, so we stayed in, made a few pips off of it. That was our goal. Okay. So, Tiffany, get with me and let's see what your schedule's like, and let's do some 3-ways. Let's do some presentations. Let's get it going. Anyone else that's on my team? Hey guys, let's continue to share. Let's get these presentations going to show people this skill set works. I just showed y'all today about gap trading and how you can make money in gap trading. Okay, we made some money. So if anybody was on here and you made some, whether it was $1 or $15, you made some money. So the skill set works. We know that. Okay, we know the skill set works. We don't win them all. Some we do, some we don't. Bottom line, skill set works. Let's show people that it works. Let's get them to grow on their money as well. All right. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. And I'm going to say good night. Join my YouTube channel for different broadcasts and training that goes out about the Forex market. All right, everybody. And I think that we're at that point. YouTube, thank y'all so much for hanging in there with me and watching this gap trading today. That's what our goal was, for us to work on scalping the gap. All right. Thank you all again. If you're on Dr. Spiller's team, I'll see you all early in the morning trading during the London breakout session. All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks again.